during my master's defense, I was pacing outside the defense room, not because I did not know what I did in my research work, but because I was not sure of the questions that would be asked. Fast forward to my PhD defense, it was completely different. I walked in with clarity and confidence, not because I had all the answers, but because I had a strategy. And that's exactly what I want to give you today. Whether you're preparing for your undergraduate, your master's, or your PhD Viva, otherwise called oral defense, I will walk you through practical steps that will make you feel composed, calm, and ready. You will learn what Viva really is, what questions to expect, how to prepare academically, professionally, and mentally. Let's get into it. I am Dr. Mojirayo, and I help students grow in academic writing, research, and confident presentation, no matter your field. What's the essence of Viva? Viva, otherwise called oral defense, it is your chance to show that you did the research, to demonstrate that you understand it, and to defend your decisions like a scholar that you are. Most Vivas last between 40 minutes to 2 hours or even 3 hours, and this depends on your university or your department. For some universities, you are not required to present. No PowerPoint presentation, no presentation whatsoever. All you need to do is to come in for the discussion. They already have your thesis, your dissertation with them. So they will invite you for discussion, will throw questions at you, you would answer them. While some universities and some departments require PowerPoint presentation, other departments do not require PowerPoint presentation. All you need to do is to come with your thesis or your dissertation, and then you speak to it. Usually you would have an internal examiner, an external examiner, you would have your head of department in there. Make sure you ask the duration of the presentation if you are to present. How many people are we expecting? Will slides be required? Then will there be a moderator? All those questions you need to ask, because those are the things that will build your confidence, make you to know what to expect in your defense. Let's go to the first step. The first step is that know your thesis and bring it along. This first step is very important. I know that you wrote the thesis, but it does not stop at that. You also need to familiarize with it. It is not about memorizing each page or each line. It's about reading it well enough to know what is in your thesis, so that when your examiner asks you, go to page 155, want you to shed more light on that. Why did you use that method? How did you come about these findings? If you know your thesis well enough, you'll be able to open to that page and answer the question appropriately. So make sure you have your thesis with you and jot certain things down in your thesis. The next step is practice public speaking. Whether you are presenting slides or you are not even presenting anything, just the discussion and questions, public speaking will also help you in answering the questions. Whether you are doing a slide presentation or not, make sure you practice out loud. If you are not required to do a slide presentation, it's just for you to do another presentation, I would advise that you use your abstract as your presentation scripts, because in your abstract you already have your topic, you have the statement of the problem, you have your methods, you have your findings and conclusion. The thing you need is already in your abstract. So I will advise you use your abstract as your presentation scripts. Now, if you're doing a slide presentation, use minimal text. Each slide should not contain too long paragraphs. Just keep it concise. Tell us your statement of the problem, tell us why you did the research, tell us your methods, tell us your findings, tell us your conclusion and recommendations. That way you have been able to summarize your work. And make sure you don't read off the screen. The examiners expect you to talk to them. So don't just read off the screen and just stop at that. Now, I need you to listen to this. Make sure you practice with someone. Your supervisor, your colleague, your friend in the department. If you do not have anyone to practice with, make sure you record yourself presenting. And if you cannot record yourself presenting, stay in front of a mirror and speak out. Don't just say it to yourself, say it out loud. Make sure you practice until it flows smoothly. Practice builds confidence. When you do it over and over again, it will build your confidence. You understand what is in your research work, that is your thesis or your dissertation as the case may be, and you will be confident. You will be able to communicate clearly and concisely, and that's very important in your defense. Clear and concise communication. If your department does not require a slide presentation, don't skip this step. Practice public speaking. Now let's go to the next step. Prepare to answer the questions. Now, when you are preparing for your defense, you need to put yourself in the examiner's shoe. What do I think the examiner will ask? What questions do I think the examiners will raise? And then try to put those questions down and provide answers to them. But there are some common questions that are asked in an oral defense, otherwise called Viva. Some of those questions are, what gap does this study fill? That's your problem. If you have not watched my video on mistakes people make in research proposal, kindly watch them. You would have an understanding of statement of the problem. First questions like, why did you choose the topic? What gap do you want to fill in your study? This method. What would you have done differently? What are your limitations? What's the significance of your findings? I need to state at this point that it is not about having a perfect answer. Just be thoughtful and be clear. Use your abstract to organize your thoughts, and when needed, refer to your thesis. Step number 4, think like your examiner. As you revise your thesis, as you prepare for the discussion, ask yourself, what are the questions that my examiner can raise? And the moment you get those questions, write them down and provide answers to them, clear answers to them. Prepare to clarify assumptions, prepare to justify them, or rethink part of your work. Note that this is a scholarly discussion. It's not a personal attack. So be confident but not arrogant. This next step is very important, and a lot of students make this mistake. Listen first, respond later. Make sure you do not interrupt your examiner. Don't rush to answer. Don't be quick to cut your examiner off. Even when you think you know the answer, make sure you understand the question, then answer appropriately. Now, if you do not understand the question, feel free to ask. You can use clarification phrases like, are you asking about? Just to clarify, do you mean? Confidence means being calm, not being too fast. So don't be too fast to answer your questions. Be calm. Now, what do you do when you don't know the answer? That's the next step. Don't fake it. Don't pretend you know something when you don't. Your examiners can tell, and it's quite unnecessary. Remember, you're not being tested for perfection. You're being tested for your depth, your maturity as a scholar, your ability to think critically. That's truly what matters. If you are unsure of the answer, let them know, I am not entirely sure. There is nothing to worry about so far you're prepared. Your confidence does not come from knowing everything, but from knowing your work well enough and being able to reflect on what you don't know with humility and insight. Let me give you some practical tips for your Viva day. Make sure you bring a pen and a notebook so that you can jot things down with suggestions, questions, answers. Next tip, don't interrupt. Be polite, thoughtful, and grounded. Stay hydrated because we do a lot of talking. Be confident but not arrogant. Remember, it is a professional discussion. It is not a courtroom. After the session, what do you expect? You'll be asked to go out, step out for some time. Don't go too far because it takes a few minutes. So what they do is that they deliberate, and after some minutes, they will call you back with a decision. The decision is usually pass with major correction, pass with major correction, or resubmit, which is rare. You've written your thesis, you have done your research, you have spent months, years gathering data, refining ideas, reviewing your literature. So you're an expert in your study. The Viva is the opportunity to show that. So go ahead and prepare well so that you can walk in with courage, with calm, and with confidence. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe on more tips on academic writing, research, and confident presentations. What are you most nervous about in your Viva? Make sure you drop your biggest concern in the comment section, and I would love to help. Going bold, you've got this. Until next time, keep growing, keep digging deep, and keep learning with Dr. Mojirayo. Bye.